we decided there was like 8 or 9 people in here. We might as well just go ahead and start it a few minutes early. So, how's everybody doing today? Hi, Ace. Hi, Pooch. Hi, Philip. Liam. Pam. Scott. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Pooch. How many more subs do you guys need to get your 1K? Ooh.
MX Chick.
That's Tracy.
Tracy.
Yeah. And it's Motocross Chick.
Hi. Well, I figured that.
Yeah. But her name.
Hi, Tracy.
Yeah. So what's up with us? It's muddy outside.
Very muddy outside.
It been raining
all night last night. Hey, McKevin.
Waiting on the latest updates. What particularly would you like updates on?
What updates are we updating? So I was gonna say something. Oh, it rained all night last night, guys. It's a mud hole and a half out here. She had a
checkup today.
Checkup today up in Oklahoma City, and I like to not made it out of our driveway.
He just don't know how to drive. I could have made it. Just kidding. The key is to back up into the yard and get a good running start, because we've got it. It's uphill, and you kind of got to go around a turn to get out of the driveway, and so you got to get a good running start because our driveway is pretty much clay.
Hey, Peter.
We have an exterminator that comes once a month just to keep us bug free, and he had to walk down the driveway this morning. Mind you, it's like probably 500 foot from the end of the driveway to our house, so he had to walk down the clay driveway, and he's like, I'm surprised you guys haven't graveled it yet. And I'm like, well, consider we need like 10 loads of gravel, like that just ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
So
hi, Jesus Lord, my second act.
Plus we're gonna move, so
Carol, hello.
We could, if we could buy gravel, we'd buy gravel for our new place.
Carol, they finally got all the seats out. Emily got in there and swept everything all up and cleaned it all out the other night.
If you watched our Wednesday live stream on our main channel, you would have seen Hunter come in the house and offer us a glass of Kool-Aid, and it was antifreeze. He had removed the heater.
He removed the heater out of the back of the bus, so that runs off your antifreeze lines off your motor. I wouldn't want to do that right now, but
it's done.
It's done now. So but yeah, he lost a bunch of antifreeze out of the bus. So now we have got to make a trip. We actually wasn't even thinking about it while we was in the city today. We could have today, but we've got to make a trip to buy some foam board insulation to get in the floor of the bus.
I think we have enough money right now to buy the foam board. Do we have enough money for the decking too?
I think so.
Okay. But then we'll have to wait for money to do the actual flooring. I think we're just going to do linoleum because it's the cheapest way to go.
Yeah, just cheapest way to go.
That's what we have in our house. Of course, we've, the linoleum in our house probably needs some repair.
Yeah, maybe we'll just take this out and put it in the bus and then buy us some new.
Right. This linoleum has been in here for about 6 years, and it shows.
Hi, Tamara. Hi, James. Hi, Jody.
But that's the next step.
Hey, Sean.
The next step on the bus is insulating the floor and decking it, and then we'll be waiting on more money to come in until we can go past that.
So I think is what we're going to do is we're going to get the floor insulated. We're going to get the floor down. Then we're going to build the wall to separate the front from the rear. That way the two kids have their own bedrooms. And we'll probably go ahead and let them put their beds and stuff in there and just, for now.
And Jody Young sent him a couple propane, ventless propane heaters.
Yep. So we can put those in there.
That are wall mount, so we can put those in there.
And that'll give them a place to stay for now, but we're going to make them keep everything minimal. That way it's going to be easy to go in there and go ahead and insulate the rest of the walls and put the walls and everything up.
James said, yeah, you got to keep them separated. Yeah. You do. Or they fight with each other.
Oh, yeah. All day, every day.
Howdy, Trish. Already 45 people in here. Holy moly.
Oh my gosh, look at that. I'm famouser than you.
Right. Holy cow.
The bad thing is this is all people that's off your channel.
Yeah, that's okay. We share subscribers, and that's all right. So, I do have one other thing to update you guys on. If you saw my post on our main channel on Wednesday, my dad had gone in to have heart surgery. He lives in Northern California, so it makes me really sad that we're so far away. But honestly, you guys, there's no amount of money that you could pay me that would make me live in California. Anyway, so he went to have the surgery done, and turns out that he didn't need the surgery. So I had put out that post, and a lot of people commented and said that they were praying for my dad. So before he underwent the surgery, he said they took a wire of some kind, and they went in through his wrist and went through his artery up into his heart. And he said that there wasn't like a camera on it like you see in the movies. He said that they could tell by the pressure that was being put on that wire, whether or not his arteries were clogged and stuff like that. And they determined that he didn't need the surgery. So he was going in prepared to have stents put in, and he was worried that he might have to have a bypass.
It was stents and a very good possibility of a bypass.
And come to find out, he didn't need the surgery at all. So that is phenomenal. Now.
But the same day.
Yeah, the same day. While my dad was at the hospital, my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, was on his way to work, and he wrecked his motorcycle. And he's in pretty bad shape. So he broke, what did the video show? Like his left leg?
Left leg in multiple places.
And his
left arm in multiple places.
Yeah, and so he's still in the hospital. That was on Wednesday. He'll probably be in the hospital for a couple of weeks. And
hey, Ford dude.
3 lives in a week. We must be special. We're just using y'all to get Wiley monetized.
Right.
I'm just kidding. So this is especially devastating to my sister and her family, because my sister broke her collarbone in September, and she didn't end up. Her insurance company ended up not paying for the surgery until like the end of October. And so she's only, 6 weeks past her surgery date. And so she still doesn't have full use of her arm. She wrecked on a 4-wheeler and broke her collarbone really bad. And then she had to have surgery.
Hey, Dave!
They put a plate in there and screws and stuff. And so she's still recovering from that, so she can't work. And now her husband wrecked his motorcycle, and now he can't work either. Right before Christmas.
Which they live on the same property as her dad.
Yeah.
And her dad is still having breathing issues. So, whenever he gets up, just a short walk from like here to the kitchen, he's out of breath and can't continue. Yeah. So now all 3 of them are pretty much down, and they live in Northern California, off grid, in the mountains. I mean, if you guys, the guys that followed us last year, know that we had to go up there last year and do some work for her dad to get him firewood and all that stuff. Now they're pretty much in the same situation. It's only Jen's stepmom that's able to do anything.
And she had a heart attack over the summer and had to have stents put in her heart over the summer.
So they're all pretty well down.
My family's just falling apart, guys.
But awesome news came out of it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I got to, I don't know if this lady wants me to mention her name or not, but she's in the chat. And I was just talking to her just casually. We talk pretty often. And I had, she was wondering how my dad was doing. And I gave her an update and told her about my sister. She said that she was putting my dad into her prayer group for prayers. And God is amazing, guys. Like, he is almighty for sure. And he really, really shows up when you need him. And so a ton of people prayed, and good things have come out of it. So while everybody is not in shape to be cutting firewood, which is their main source of heat, You know, live way out in the woods, and they often get snowed in the wintertime. They aren't able to get
They
out.
are 100% off grid. I mean,
Yeah,
they are off grid.
They have solar panels. They collect rainwater, and that kind of stuff. And so it's not an easy life to live. But on a positive note, so my dad called me yesterday, and it brought tears to my eyes.
Hey, not your daddy. How's it going?
It brought tears to my eyes because of the blessing, guys. Well, actually, sorry. I was talking to, I got off track. I was talking to one of our ladies in the chat right now, and I was telling her about the situation with my brother-in-law and my sister, and she sent us a monetary donation to pass forward to them, which is huge.
It's
because they live way out in the middle of nowhere, and my sister didn't even know how she was going to get her kids back and forth to school.
Her sister was so excited, she started crying just because she was able to fill her gas tank up on her car.
She said it's been a long time since she's had a full tank of gas in her car, which after she received that donation, she told me that it costs over $100 to fill up the tank in her car.
Yeah, fuel's almost $5 a gallon up there where they're at.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so my dad calls me yesterday, and we're talking about it. That was I can't even,
Angiogram?
Angiogram, yeah.
Angiogram.
They can even do that through the wrist. So that's what he had, Carol.
That's what he had, yep.
So the huge blessing is, my dad hasn't, when I was a teenager, when I was a young kid, when my dad was growing up, he was raised as a Mormon, and but when I was growing up, he wasn't really active in the church until I was like a teenager, and there for a couple of years we were kind of active in the church, and he hasn't been active in the Mormon church since I was a teenager, guys. It's been over 20 years, and some missionaries from the Mormon church had showed up at his house yesterday on a side-by-side full of groceries, and they said that they were going to get a crew together to come out and cut firewood.
Mind you guys, where these guys...
I got goosebumps, y'all.
Where her dad lives, it is literally... It takes an hour to get from his house to the nearest town, which is Dutch Flat, California. And it's only, 5 miles?
8, I think it's
8 miles.
Yeah.
And it takes an hour to get there.
On a good day, when the road's clear, on a good day.
They are out in the mountains. And
way out.
For these guys to show up at their door with groceries and stuff is just absolutely unbelievable.
Yes, Tamara. God is good all the time. And so what's the most amazing thing about it is my dad's little brother, he lives in New Mexico, and him and his family are still really active in the church. So my dad had initially thought that, like, oh, we'll speed send them, and while that doesn't discount the blessing, that wasn't the case.
But he didn't send them.
My uncle did not send them. My uncle did not make a call. And so it's funny because I know we're getting like super religious in here, and I know a lot of you are down for that and some people aren't, but I don't even care because we have to share this story. So if you're offended by God, just skip forward, I guess. I don't know. Because I'm not going to stop praising him. So the most amazing thing is, and I was explaining this to my dad, and my dad was just a ball bag. I mean, he was just bawling when I was talking to him about it. And I was telling him, Dad, I said, I put out that prayer, and you had so many people praying for you. And I said that God knows what our needs are. And so even while everybody was, praying for successful surgery and, fast recovery and complete healing and all of that kind of stuff, God knew what they really needed. And He sent his soldiers to go help. And I'm seriously like covered in goosebumps right now. Like,
he sure did.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing. So it's still sad because our friend that made the monetary donation that will help sustain my sister and her family for a little while, but it's not enough to get them through until they'll be able to work again. My sister has applied for temporary disability or short-term disability, I guess.
Amen, Tamara.
But she hasn't been approved yet. So if y'all could pray for that, because it's going to be a while till her husband can work.
Yeah.
It's
He's
gonna be
tore
a
up
while.
bad.
Yeah, it's bad. He's lucky to have survived. But she's stressing because she doesn't, you know, as a parent, like, this time of year is really hard when you're a parent. And this is something that I've fought with for years, but I've kind of, like, gotten over it a little bit. But I used to feel really, really guilty. Like, I was a terrible parent when I couldn't afford to buy my kids gifts for Christmas. And now it's like we intentionally buy them very minimal things. I mean, we usually try not to get them more than 3 things each. Because one, like, we really don't have the finances to do that. Who really has the money, a few extra $1,000 at the end of the year to spend on this stuff? You know, stuff that's not necessity, stuff that is just things that you want, you know, and it's because the holiday has been so commercialized. But she's going through that now where she's worried that her kids aren't going to have anything for Christmas. Because now they don't have an income at all, and every dime that she has needs to be put towards, you know, propane and gas for their generator and gas for their car, and that kind of stuff. So it's tough, but I've worked my way past that, and now I tell the kids straight up, this is the season, or Jesus is the reason for the season, and gifts aren't. So you're lucky if you get a couple things. And because of their bus fire, they have been immensely blessed all month. And so far. And so, yeah, Dollar Tree has toys, right, James?
Absolutely, James.
And there were times where I couldn't even go to Dollar Tree. When I was when my kids were younger, there were times when I was a single mom before I met Wiley that, I mean, I would have to take money out of our food budget to go to the Dollar Tree, and $20 made a difference when you had when you only had $120 to spend on groceries for 2 weeks. $20 was a lot, so it makes me cry. So yeah, Jesus is the reason for the season for sure. So anyway, I'm done ranting about that now.
Yeah, are you over your rant?
No, I'm crying. I'm good. Yeah.
Can we actually, talk about me now?
Oh my gosh, Jody. You are crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's your first super chat.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Wiley's first super chat.
Now that I get to talk about me, I got monetized, guys.
Partially monetized.
Partially.
Yeah.
So my watch hours is like 4,166. So I'm past where I need to be. But right now, YouTube's only recognizing like 3777.
Yeah, something like that.
So I don't know if it's just because they haven't fully processed everything yet or what. But we're getting there. I mean,
yeah, we have to wait for them to verify the watch hours. But it'll happen eventually. The good thing is we did apply for partial monetization. So now we have super chat, super stickers, and we have the ability to set up memberships, but we're not going to do that on this channel. I don't know if we're not going to do it just right now, if we're not ever going to do it, but we're still trying to navigate the whole membership thing on our main channel.
Yeah, we haven't even figured it out on her channel yet.
We don't want you guys paying for a membership and us not being able to hold up our end of the bargain. And so it's going to be hard enough to do that with one channel at this point.
I mean, right now, I can't even get her to put it. I have 2 videos she's working on trying to get them out. And one of them was literally, I was like, just post it. It's like, good enough.
No, it needs transitions and it needs background music and it needs special effects.
And so we worked till midnight on it last night and it still ain't out yet.
Yeah, well, I worked on it for like an hour this morning before we had to leave, and then we've been gone all day. We only got home at like 3:15 or 3:30. So give me a break, man. Yes, Trish, Jody is a huge blessing.
Yes, she is. So
she said it's Jesus' money.
Just to let, maybe, I hope I don't give too much away, but so when we left to go to Alabama the other day.
You can't tell them what the video is. I mean, you can tell them what it's about.
No, that's what I'm saying. Those of you that followed along, probably heard me saying that whenever we got in a hurry to get packed up and get gone.
Oh,
Oh,
James,
thanks, James.
Thank you. You guys are so kind. My sister's gonna feel so blessed. Sorry, not to interrupt, but I want to say one more thing about my sister. So, guys, she's had a really, really hard year this last year, and it's really, really taken its toll on her faith. Because sometimes when you just feel like you're being attacked from every direction, you sometimes feel like God's forgotten about you. You know, when you're really, He's testing you. But in the moment, it doesn't feel like a test. It feels like you're spiraling downward, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so,
hey, Tony.
I think that between the prayers, the blessings, the financial help, you know, I really think that that's going to give her it's really going to reestablish her faith. So I thank you guys so much. So sorry. Now you can go back to talking about.
Is it my turn again?
Yeah.
Can I talk on my channel, please?
For a minute.
So anyway, before we left, we was in a hurry. You know, I have the truck to where I've got a gooseneck ball and a fifth wheel on it. So of course we was pulling a gooseneck down to Alabama to pick up Gary's truck, and I decided. I normally just take the fifth wheel and move it forward and pin it back, and that way I've got them both on the truck. But I decided to take it off. Well, whenever I took it off, it slid and fell down and broke the top of my fuel pump. So that was a big mess. I had to pull the fuel pump out of the back tank, put it in the front tank, and so we drove all the way to Alabama with no fuel gauge, you know, a broken fuel pump in the rear tank. We had to stop every 125 miles to get fuel. It was just a mess.
And then this guy didn't even put the ring on all the way.
Oh, yeah.
So we're on our way back. We're like stopped for gas and we're filling it up, and there's gas just going everywhere because the fuel pump was just floating in the fuel tank. I wanted to say Leonard Mountain Homestead, hi from Oklahoma. Hey. Where are you at?
Where are you guys at in Oklahoma?
We are near Shawnee.
Yep. Tecumseh, Shawnee area.
When you feel led, you do what God wants you to do. Absolutely. Amen. Even if it's hard, you know, I can't tell you guys, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I can't tell you how many times that I've felt led to do something, and even though it
they're in Bigsby.
Oh, that's not too far, is it?
I've got about Tulsa.
Okay.
I've got a cousin has a big auto repair shop up there. He used to. I guess he still has it. I don't know.
So 102 people in here. Holy moly. So we I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, when you feel led by God, you know, that's how our Feed the Homeless program came about.
Yeah.
And there were times when we didn't know how we were going to do it, and God just made it happen. You know, there was times that we're like, man, we've got $10. How are we going to feed 100 people? And something would just happen, and somebody would give us a donation. Like, there's been times we're at the grocery store when we're in line and we're paying for stuff, and people can see that we're cooking for a large crowd. Because, I mean, when you walk up there and you've got 50 loaves of bread, you know, I mean, or 20 more like it. But anyway, when you've got that much, they can tell that you're going to feed a large group, and they start up a conversation. Oh man, you're feeding a lot of people or whatever. We tell them what we do, and I can't tell you how many times people in line would just give us $20.
Yeah, people just standing in line behind us at the checkout
at the grocery store. People we've never met before, and so God really does work in mysterious ways. And there's been a lot of times where, you know, I've only had a couple bucks left in my pocket, and God said, give it to that guy over there. And I'm like, okay, God. Like, I don't know how I'm going to eat lunch today, but here, you can have my lunch money, sir, because you need it more than I do. And and there's an overwhelming feeling of joy that you get when you do something for somebody else. So when you get that voice, that little voice in your head that tells you to do something nice for somebody else, it really just, you get an overwhelming sense of peace. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about, but
of course, Kevin, you know, they're still learning, but yes, we do a Bible study with them every night, and
when we were doing our when we were feeding the homeless, the kids would often come with us and help us.
Right.
after we'd done it for a few years, they kind of got burnt out on it, and they didn't want to get up early in the morning to go do that because they knew they were going to have to help clean up. And but yeah, they do. And what other thing? Oh, and then when they earn money and make money, we make them put back 10% as a tithe. But they get to choose where that money goes.
Yep.
And so we encourage them to save it up until they have, a little bit. Like Lily will say, oh, I want to give somebody my $2. And we're like, well, that's nice of you, but why don't you wait till you have 20 and then saved up and then give it to somebody? It'll have a bigger impact. So
Right.
We do try to set a good example, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can be a perfect person and still have kids that grow up to not be perfect people. So
yeah. You never know.
Yeah. You work the grace of God all the time and prove God a blessing, or is a blessing always. Yeah. Thank you, Jody. There's a lot more good people out there than bad. That's what I like to believe. And that's not what you see on the news. If you watch mainstream media, you think that the world's definitely full of bad people. There's a lot of them out there, but I think there's a lot more good people still. And I think a lot of those good people are getting fed up with all the bad people, and people are starting to stand up against it and speak out against it.
Yep.
Look at me, alcoholic for 30 years. So are you still an alcoholic, or are you recovered?
Turned them off. What's she saying? Tamara turned them off?
Oh, the mainstream media probably. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We don't do mainstream media at all.
Our local
16 years sober.
Oh wow, congratulations.
That's awesome.
That's so amazing. I mean, we'd still love you if you were an alcoholic. I went to before Wiley and I met, and before I moved to the current property we're on now, but I used to go to a non-denominational church in Seminole, and that was the most at home I've ever felt at church. And they were very inclusive, and they're like, we don't care who you are or what you've done, we're just happy that you're here. We don't care if you come drunk, we don't care if you come high, we don't care if you come in your pajamas, we're just happy that you're here. And that was the most amazing thing, because it was a very, very strong contrast from what I had grown up as. Spending time in the Mormon church, you can't drink at all. You can't smoke at all. You can't have caffeine at all. And if you go to church, you have to be in your Sunday best, which is great for those people who have it, but not everybody has a Sunday best. Some people look homeless like Wiley all the time.
That's awesome, Lord Mountain. Congratulations.
Yeah, Jesus said, come as you are. Exactly. And so, hey, Sheila, how's it going? Woohoo!
I mean, what good's it going to do to go get a gender thing now whenever they can just decide when they're 5 years old to change it anyway?
Oh, yeah, right. We won't go too far into that.
I'm joking. I mean, that was a joke, but
it's meant to be a joke, but it's actually kind of serious.
Hello from Florida. Hello, Larry.
Hopefully,
welcome.
Let's just, we'll just pray that it's healthy, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah.
That it's healthy. I say it, I mean the baby. Like, I'm not trying to use pronouns. It's pronounced like you would say Leonard Skinner, ha ha ha. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, Leonard. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I like me some Leonard Skinner. A little bit, here and there. I wish more churches were like that. I imagine that a lot of churches these days would snub Jesus himself. No, for sure.
I absolutely 100% agree with that.
And when you read the Bible, it was like that in his day too. There were a lot of churches that snubbed him, thinking that he was just a wandering person, and that's why it's important to treat everybody like they are Jesus, because you never know. When we were feeding the homeless, there was this guy that had come in, and he first introduced himself as Daniel, and he told us that he was the Archangel Daniel. Remember?
Yep.
And he was just the sweetest guy. And he may have been the angel. I'm not sure. We treated him just like we treated everybody else, with love and kindness and stuff, I think he was a little, but we still treated him just like everybody else, with loving and kindness and all of that. And so I don't know. I believe it's good policy to just treat everybody with kindness. And regardless, because you never know when Jesus is going to come knocking at your door. And I know that if he comes knocking on my door, I do not want to be the person who turned him away.
Yeah, right.
I want to be like the lady at the well who was like, what can I give you? You know, and he's like, I just want water. Okay, I can give you water.
And for the longest time, Jenn and I, Daniel, that's all we knew him by.
And then eventually he corrected us and told us his real name.
He's like, well, my real name's Brian,
Yeah.
but here's, you know, and he, you know, he would go off onto these deals to where, you know, he's, I don't even remember now how he would say it, but anyway, he was Daniel and an angel, but his real name was Brian, and yeah. Anyway, we fed him for
several
years.
I guess
3 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
he was there the whole time.
I miss him too. He'd bring Lily candy sometimes.
Candy or soda or.
One time he brought her a toy, and I think did he bring her that plastic rose?
Yeah,
that one
he
time?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. My second act. Hey, I think we forgot to say hi to you. We're really just rambling in
No,
here.
I said I said hi to my second act. Well, they might not have been back in here, but
I don't think we've said hi to Atasha yet.
So Atasha, hi. I hope you got my correction I sent you yesterday. I need to learn how to proofread really bad.
Before he posts his comments.
So I replied to a comment she made, and I meant to say, I couldn't have done it without you. But I said I could have done it without you.
He was so embarrassed. He's like, I really hope she got the point.
I was like, I'm just going to quit. I'm going to quit answering comments because I've got to learn to proofread this stuff.
Too legalistic, no compassion, right? I'm looking at good people. Y'all hit the thumb, then come on back in. These folks are fun and very enjoyable. Hit it for them and go. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Ace.
Thank you, Ace.
Thank you. Yes, Amy, much love.
We was watching where she had pulled up something. I don't want to get too deep into this stuff, but she was seeing something a while ago that they pulled out the Ten Commandments, you know, of course, separation between church and state. You know, that whole big thing's been going on for a while. And now they've built what was it?
Oh, a Satanistic statue.
Yeah, Satanistic statue.
It was in one of the northern states, like up at the Great Lakes states, I think, when I read it. Like Indiana or, Amy. Okay, so I saw people talking to Amy, but I wasn't sure who Amy was, so I'm glad you said that.
So now we're not allowed to put the Ten Commandments in the courthouses, but you can build a Satanistic statue. Really?
Yeah. Oh, Pam said, is there more to your truck story?
I was so rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
I just,
Sorry.
Whatever.
Sometimes I get yapping and I just don't shut up.
But anyway, yes, Pam, thank you for letting me have the floor again.
Thank you for bringing us back around to the point.
I don't even remember where I was at now.
You said you broke the fuel pump.
Oh yeah, I broke the fuel pump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we drove all the way to Alabama with no fuel gauge, only one fuel pump in the front tank. So we was having to stop every 125 miles to get fuel.
And because we only had one fuel pump, we didn't have a gas gauge. So.
Well, the fuel pump, we called O'Reilly's before we left because I thought, you know what, if it's a couple $100, I'm just gonna swing by O'Reilly's, get a new fuel pump, put it in here, be done with it. $685, guys, at O'Reilly's.
It's ridiculous. We got it for like $200 online.
No way. So, you know, I know it's a little less than $200 online, and I was gonna order one as soon as I have the opportunity. But you guys have to watch the next video coming out now.
Yeah. So Amy, did you change your channel name, or are you a different Amy? Because what was the other Amy's name, channel name?
I don't remember.
Now that I'm put on the spot, I can't remember it. Jenn just doesn't want to be... Wait. Oh, Jen just doesn't want you to be the main channel.
My husband would tell Wiley he has a great beard. Well, it's very unkempt.
Unkept. Yeah. Oh yeah, and we forgot to reset the trip meter once. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we did.
yeah.
But it's okay because we didn't run out of gas. We did have a gas can on the back of the truck with fuel in it, just in case.
Yeah. But we didn't ever have to use it.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I figured out how to fix it, guys. You're going to have to watch my next video coming out.
How much did it cost you to fix it?
It cost me like $12 for a deal of JB Weld. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to watch the next video coming out.
Now let's just hope it holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your fingers crossed that it holds, but it's doing fine so far.
Because it's redneckery at its finest. But hopefully it holds up. So... I trust God's plan. We do not belong to a church, but we are spiritual people, one-on-one with our Creator. Be love, light. Yes, absolutely. And that's how we are, too. We haven't found our home church yet, you know? No. It's hard because we don't associate with any particular denomination.
As much as I hate to put it in these terms... I don't like all this newer music, all this fancy, all this newer rock.
Wiley doesn't want to feel like he's at a concert when he goes to church.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I like the old time, hymns and things like that. And you just can't find that anymore.
James said run a comb through it every now and again, Wiley, to comb the rats.
Yeah. It'll probably help a little bit.
No matter, cookers. Hopefully... to get the AC Delco or Delphi pump, those discount auto parts pumps seem to be junk. We did buy one off of Rock Auto that it was bad when we got it, but it took us too long to put it in. But actually,
the ones that I bought that's in it right now are Amazon, off-brand Amazon pumps, and they have been fantastic.
Of course, they've only been in there for a couple months, so we'll ask us again next year.
Yeah. I mean, whenever we get the money... Like later on, I might replace them with some better stuff, but right now I couldn't afford it, and we got what we got. So.
Oh, okay. So Leonard Mountain Homestead is a different Amy. I still can't think of the other Amy's channel name, but she's friends with. We met her through Lori at LG Homestead. So.
Hi all. Can't chat much. Listening while driving. Be careful out there, Tracy.
So yeah, we haven't found our home church because there's so many people that go to church Wednesdays and Sundays, and then they go out to eat afterwards, and they're total jerks to the waitress. Like, that's what I call hypocristians. And I think that it's the hypocristians that have really given Christians a bad name, and they've kind of ruined it for all of us. And it's hypocristians are the people who think they're better than everybody else. They go to church regularly, they put on their Sunday best and they put on a good show, but deep down inside, they wouldn't give the homeless guy on the side of the road a high five if he paid him for it. They wouldn't, they want to be rude people. They definitely do not live a Christ-like life. And that's why it's really hard to find a home church, is because it's just, you're going to have those people everywhere, but it's really important, I feel, to at least have your church leadership live Christ-like lives. And I understand nobody's perfect, neither are we. We have our bad days just like everybody else, but we do our best to treat other people with dignity and respect and help when we can. So,
Nomadic Cooker, we'll be praying for your mom. And let us know how things go.
Yeah. Oh, no. The horrible C word. Is it the C-O word or the C-A word? Oh, I guess if it was cancer, he would say it. It's the other word that you can't say on YouTube, so.
I'd like to find a church that doesn't have all the big band feel you would find in a small... Exactly.
That's what we're looking for, yeah.
So around here, there's a lot of cowboy churches.
Oh, the CA word, dang.
Around here, there's a lot of cowboy churches, but every one I found is quite a ways away from us. So that's I think a cowboy church would be more along my lines, because I know I've had some friends that has told me about some around here, and they're more of a, the cowboy church that one of my friends went to was actually in the middle of an arena, and they just took, tables and set them up all out in this arena, and you walked on a dirt floor, you went out, and sat down at the tables, and you just set, everybody sat at a table like you normally would, and it was, the old time hymns and all that stuff, which sounds perfect to me. So,
when I say the CO word,
she was talking about COVID.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get demonetized already.
Before I even get monetized.
Yeah. You said a dirty word. So we're not in your definition, Tamara. We aren't religious either. We have a study Bible that is well worn, right, that we use all the time, and I love it. I can thank that study Bible for my relationship with the Lord, because when I had first started going to the church I had told you about, I started doing Bible studies in a group, and I went and I was like, guys, I said, I just don't understand this. I can read these words. I'm well educated. I can read a sentence, but it doesn't make any sense to me. And I'd get bored reading it because it didn't make any sense to me. And then a member of that group got me my study Bible, and it has forever changed my life. And now we use that study Bible to teach kids too. So, well, y'all are looking to move pretty soon, he said.
Trish, exactly right.
Well, y'all are looking to move pretty soon. Wait until you get to where you're going. Yeah. And so we're hoping, Boonville's a pretty small community. We're hoping to find a nice church there. And when I say nice, I mean like the people. It doesn't necessarily have to, we don't care what the building looks like, because that's not what it's about. So actually,
didn't my cousin tell us, didn't Randy tell us that he had family that had a church there in Magazine?
I know he told us he had family in Magazine. I don't remember if he told us. I know I had stepped away from that conversation. I was chasing kids too.
I don't remember.
So, Nomadic Cooker said F cancer. That's absolutely right. Jody said both of her parents died of cancer. My grandma and my great-grandma both passed away of breast cancer. Well, my grandma had survived breast cancer and then died of colon cancer. And Wiley's cousin just recently, over the summer, had passed away.
And his was stomach cancer.
His was stomach cancer, yeah.
Who are they talking about?
Walker Farm Fam made the 2 buses? No, I haven't.
Oh, no, sure enough.
I love Gary and Cassie. They are such awesome people.
They are.
We've met them several times in person, and they are really awesome. But I haven't watched their channel in a little while.
Trish, we've actually talked about that. Of course, Jenn would probably be a lot better at something like that than I would, because I know I'm not the type person that could sit and preach, basically, or anything like that. But that would be really awesome. Try to get a good old-time feel going again. And, that would be pretty cool.
Diane said, Wiley, you don't need to worry about your typos as long as you are fluent in Taiwanese, and your friends are as well. Watch the Catching Up with the Walkers. Okay, I'm subscribed to that channel too.
I'm subscribed too, so we'll have to check into that.
We just have so many friends on YouTube. There's so many good people that we met through YouTube. And not just other YouTube channels, but a lot of you guys too. Like, I brag all the time to people about our online community, and most of them look at me funny. Because when I was a teenager in like the 90s and the early 2000s, you said that you met someone online and people thought you were absolutely nuts. And nowadays, like, I've met more people online than I have in person. And I like more of them.
So Ford, dude, you're absolutely right. And that's the way I've felt for a really long time. Even me and my ex-wife, we used to get into it a lot because I didn't go to church with her. But I just stayed away from the church because I didn't care for that feel that I got when I went into that church. And so whenever I was out there on a dozer doing work by myself, I felt a whole lot more closer to God there than I did in any church. And the same way here, if I'm outside working if whatever. I just feel it's a whole lot more comfortable for me there, and I feel a lot more comfortable to God there than I ever have in a church.
Yeah, right. And so Jody wants to know about the little school bus. If Dayton goes with us, then yeah, we'll be taking his little bus with us.
I really imagine we're probably going to take it no matter what. But Dayton is talking about moving with us also, so yeah, that's definitely going to be his room if he goes with us.
Yeah. James said that his mom has been fighting lung cancer for 15 years and it recently came back. It's attacking her vocal cords. Oh no. Hi, Lobo Reyes. How are you? From Mexico. Father-in-law.
He's commented on quite a few of my videos. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. He was Lobo Reyes. I'm not sure if you were a boy or girl, so sorry if I get it wrong, but they were in our live stream, I think, the other day when we were on our way back from Alabama. Had prayers,
yep.
Breakfast every Sunday, always packed. Women would bring covered dishes in an old house place. That would be something fun to do.
That would be awesome.
It'd be cool. Like, maybe that's something that we can do with the family.
The family, yeah, right.
And so we can all get together and just have fellowship and, like a Sunday potluck.
And it wouldn't bother me as much to stand up in front of the family and act like an idiot.
Yeah, right. They already know. It was like 2011 and 14, nice buses, and he said he got them at an auction for cheap. He couldn't resist buying them. Yeah, that's how ours were acquired, except we didn't buy them at the auction. Our friend bought them at the auction, and then we bought them from a friend. So there was a little bit jacked up price on there, but $1,500 for a full-size school bus that runs and drives is a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
So we are not complaining if he made a few dollars off of us.
Victoria, I will tell you, me personally, I cannot read anything with my eyes and retain the information. I've always been that way. But I do the books on tape thing, so all my books I listen to are, books on CD or audio books, whatever. My brother bought me a Bible that was on CD many years ago, and I absolutely loved it because that was like, it's like watching a movie, listening to it and watching a movie, and I could go back and repeat just about anything I needed to. Otherwise, I can't read a paragraph and go back and tell you what that paragraph was about.
So, Victoria, what my favorite thing about the study Bible is it's a life application study Bible. And so, the top half of the page is actual scripture. And then the bottom half of the page breaks it down into layman's terms, and how it applies to modern day life. And, and it really, 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 really makes you think, because sometimes it ends with a question, and it's like, well, if you were in this situation, what would you do? Or are you living like this? When was the last time you helped somebody? Or, really kind of makes you think and examine yourself in the scope of the word. And it just has really, really changed my life. I think we're getting behind on the...
My second act says I need to hire one.
Sorry, it skipped.
Good job.
Yeah, sorry. Where was it? Over here.
Need to hire Wiley or Drew to build a 150 by 20 road so I can move down there? You have land you're needing a road built on? Is that because
Drew's got the equipment and Wiley's got the skills.
That is absolutely doable.
Yeah. Ford Dude said, too many hypocrites and bigots in churches these days. I'd rather not surround myself with those kinds of people, right? And they think that just by showing up at church on Wednesdays and Sundays or whatever, it just washes all of their awfulness away, but it doesn't. I mean, to truly be a follower of Christ, you have to try to live like him. And I understand nobody's perfect. He was the only person ever created that is perfect. But to live by his example is what it means to me to be a Christian. And that basically is treat people how you want to be treated, and really that love thy neighbor, that's what it really boils down to for me.
So Larry, her dad's in the Auburn area. If you know where Dutch Flat is up there, he's just outside of Dutch Flat up in the mountains.
Yep, up in the Sierra Nevadas. He's what about...
Larry's also there.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, praying for your mom, James. Jody's mom passed away from lung cancer last year or earlier this year.
And she never smoked.
And she never even smoked, yeah.
I had an aunt. I lost an aunt to lung cancer, and she never smoked.
Amen, James. Where home is church. Where two or more are gathered, there he will be, absolutely. And so the church that I had gone to in Seminole had once a week, or I think it was actually once a month, we would do a thing where we got together at someone's house. And I'm trying to think of what we called it. It was called We Are the Church. It was where everybody would gather, we'd gather around a bonfire and have a potluck or something. And it was to prove that the people, the congregation, was the church, not the building. And even the church that we served food at did that. During the summer, they wouldn't have church on Wednesday nights. They would go to someone's house, like members that had, church members that had like a big pool, would throw a big pool party. And then so everybody would go to that person's house and they'd have church at that person's house and have a potluck and swim, and it'd be like a big party, but they were outside of the church building. Hey, Susie, how are you?
Hi, Susie.
Uh-oh, it jumped again. Jawade or Jay said, I'm glad you guys are believers. We 100% are. You got that 14 acres Mike walked, right? Oh,
that's right. You're the one that got the over by Mama V's that Jump to Jim's was gonna. Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. So you said Gary decided not to do that with you. I guess I haven't heard anything about it yet. So,
Trish said sometimes she has to read multiple versions of the Bible to make sense.
Right.
I think mine's King James Version, and so that's the only one. I got that study Bible, and I have been...
But it really breaks
awesome.
it down into layman's terms.
It even gives you timelines, like it gives you maps and timelines of when things happen, and it even tells you, like, if you want to know more about this subject, to go see this verse of this chapter or whatever. It helps you connect all the dots. Because when you're reading something that's so old, it's really hard to imagine what order things happen in.
Tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The Bible has become a history book.
Yes, the Bible is a history book. Yeah. That's what Michael said.
Beautiful property.
Um,
Junkie Jim's was supposed to buy an acre from me. Oh, we already read that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Whoopsies.
Jumped again.
Yeah. But we work with, live around, pal around with hypocrites, cheats, etc. Yeah. This seems to be the way of most people in the world these days. Let's do unto others before they can do it to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta find out who has that 10 and 16 acre pieces they were telling me about. I couldn't remember. I don't know either.
No.
We would have liked to have bought more than 10 acres, but we wanted to be Jeff's neighbors, and it was a situation that we could afford to get ourselves into, so we did.
Yeah,
we
had talked about it multiple times, and we was really wanting something more than what we have here. So where we're at right now, we currently have almost 7 acres, and that's exactly what we bought in Arkansas. We was really wanting something more than that, but it was a whole lot easier to get into that than what it would have been a bigger place.
Right. And being an owner-financed property, we had to put $500 down, and we didn't have to go through all of the other stuff and whatever. So, one of my pastors says, "Don't just go to church, be the church," and
right.
that's that includes when nobody else is looking.
Yeah.
That's not just be the church when you're under the microscope. That's be the church in your own private home. Be the church when you're at the grocery store. And I'm not saying to stop everybody and preach to them, but be kind, like you don't have to tear others. In the world so today, it's so much like people feel like they have to tear others down to build themselves up. And that's just not the way that it was supposed to
Especially
be.
on here. Some of the comments that Jen's gotten on her channel is man.
Yeah. Lynn said, James, my pastor says that too. Yeah. My second act said those properties are next to them. So maybe you should talk to them, Atasha.
Oh, hey.
We had looked at property over there by Mama V, but it was out of our price range.
Yeah.
So, Leonard's Mountain Homestead is saying hello to everybody. Jean Pillow, sorry I was late. I will watch the replay. Well, thank you, Jean. Jeannie. It skipped on me. I was reading your name. I'm sorry.
Kim, yes. He and I's been talking back and forth on that. So, yeah. I think we're... Because I told him that I couldn't get to it. You know, I can't promise him when we're going to come down there next. And so he said he's just going to load them up, take them over, and throw them over the gate. So, that works.
Huh. Pam said, I would love an online Bible study with you. That's not something that I had considered doing. But
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. I can't guarantee that I'm the best teacher, but I can guarantee that I can read, and you can make your own. You can use your own discernment
George,
on whether or not you want to believe what I have to say.
George is from Morrilton, Arkansas. Hi, George.
I don't know where Morrilton is.
I've actually been in Morrilton multiple times back whenever I was hauling frac sand, and for some reason I cannot place the exact plate where it's at. Exactly where it's at.
I think Ace was saying that she's in Morrilton, Arkansas.
Oh, is it Ace?
Yeah, I think so. Atasha wants to know how she can message you my second act. Do you have an email on your About page, tab, whatever you want to call it now? Because it's not really an About page anymore. My pastors are husband and wife team. That's how it was at the church that I went to in Seminole. And they would always talk about who the people they were when they were younger. They were like, we were not good people, guys. We did not. They were like, we did not think that God was going to lead us to being pastors. And Juanita, she even spoke, and there's several members in the church that said that they were there to witness it. But she had, one of her legs was shorter than the other one, and it was like twisted, and it was shorter, and she ended up being in a wheelchair for several years because of it. And at church one day, people had prayed over her. They had put their hands on her, and everybody was standing around her praying for her. And they said that her leg literally went straight. Like, you could hear it cracking and popping. It went straight, and it extended or whatever. And then she could walk again. She's up on stage singing and dancing and jumping up and down. And I mean, mind you, she was gray hair in her 70s. And she was just, like, full of life.
That'd be awesome.
That was, like, I wasn't there to see it, but I had several people tell me about it. And I think that if you lied about God, he'd probably strike you down. So, especially as a pastor.
Jeremiah Knight, Beggs, Oklahoma. You're not too far from us. Hello. And welcome.
Yeah. Leonard said, that's a great idea. The Bible study?
It would be.
Wow, 500 down is awesome for 10 acres. You would never find here anywhere in New York.
Yeah.
So we only have like 6.5 acres.
Yeah, it's not quite
$500
7,
down.
but yeah.
But yeah, it's not bad. I think the property is like 35,000.
Yeah, 30 total. Yeah.
James said, let me know. All right, guys. Jen, you can do a Zoom class for a Bible study. We do that at my church. Oh, that's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, as sad as it is this, even what we're talking about now on here is liable to get us in trouble on this channel. I mean,
yeah.
Because I was going to say, just start another YouTube channel.
That's not monetized and don't
to
worry
do
about
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Tim had Lessons from the Ridge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he still does anything on that channel, but he had Lessons from the Ridge, which is another channel. Leonard said they'd join our Bible study. Nice. Where 2 or more are gathered. Amen, James. Hey, Peter, how's it going? He said the down payment for land in New York was more than the total price he was looking to pay. Good thing you weren't looking in California either, because you probably would have run into the same thing.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
My sister was saying the last time that she looked for a place to rent, which was last winter.
Last winter, yeah.
A
Just before we come up
1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment was $2,000 a month.
Yeah. Well, I know Grandpa bought in the, I don't know, I don't remember, in the 50s, I think, 2 or 3 lots of land and a tiny farmhouse. So it was just a little, maybe 2-bedroom, single bath, small house he bought in the 50s. And I think they paid like $16,000 for it when they bought it. And in the early 90s, when he moved from California to Shawnee, it brought almost $500,000.
That's
same
nuts.
house.
Yeah, I didn't even realize what time it is. It's almost 5 o'clock. We should wrap this up. Anthony and Roxanne go live after us over at Country Road here. Peter, that's why I'll never sell my land here. It just keeps gaining. I'll let it sit forever. It was awesome to join y'all's live tonight. I have to run because, like I said, we're heading out with our daughter. Yeah.
Well, shoot, Ace, you're not too far from us then.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Okay, so before everybody gets out of here, let me tell you guys, we are having a meetup in Arkansas. I think it's May. I don't have my calendar on me. Let me see if I can pull it up. The middle of May, Waveland Park near Havana, Arkansas. And I'm trying to change the month on here so I can get I can't remember exactly what date it is. I don't want to tell you wrong. I believe it's the 17th, 18th, and 19th of May. And, so it's at Waveland Park outside of Havana, Arkansas. Yeah, 17th through the 19th. Thank you,
George
Natasha.
is from Rogers, Arkansas.
And so if anybody wants to come on over. It'll be free admission. I'm sure there'll be like prizes and stuff like that. We haven't worked out all those details yet, so don't quote me. Although we will be there, so I can guarantee there's going to be some good food. Charlene, SLR's mother, does a Zoom every Friday afternoon Bible study.
Oh, really? Does
Her
she?
YouTube is Now What? Yeah, hers is a Now What?
On a not so ready traveled road or
something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Now What? Travel Ready on a Not So Simple Road. Yes, has been having a group Bible study for a while. We will not be meeting till after the first of the year, but we would be happy to have y'all. Oh, hey, that's
awesome.
That's a good idea. And then I wouldn't have to lead it. I could just be part
Yeah,
of it.
we actually, last time, whenever we had our little get-together down on our property in Arkansas, we went to Charlene's house to get the water for our
mist system.
Yeah, our mist system and stuff. Yeah.
And we used it to take showers, too.
Yeah.
And it felt so good. It was so hot, so it felt really good to take kind of a cold shower. But we better, anybody else got any last questions? Oh, Goat Days does Bible study too.
Oh, hey
that's
awesome.
I don't think I've subscribed to their channel
So,
yet.
no, who's next?
Anthony and Roxanne.
Anthony and Roxanne.
Country Road here.
Yeah.
They go live at 5.
I can't ever keep up with all that.
And then I think DD5's at 6. And then I don't know who's after that, but I know there's a good lineup tonight. I need to figure it out. If you guys know what the lineup is, let me know so that I can add it to the description of our videos on Fridays. That way, for people like us who don't know what the lineup is, it's easy to find. And they can just go click.
Thanks, Liam. You sure was quiet tonight. What happened?
Yeah. ML at 9. Is that Michigan Life? At 9?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. We are going to the Okie Homesteading 2024 and Pryor in March. We will not be there.
Unfortunately, that's going to be right in the middle of us moving from Oklahoma to Arkansas. So I just don't see that going to be a thing we're going to be able to do. You never know, but I just don't see that happening.
It'll be around the time that we're moving, and
I mean, you never know. We might be able to like just swing by and spend a few hours and say hi to everybody, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it. I understand kind of. I mean, I think that a lot of the people that are organizing that event are really good people, but at the same time, I don't really like that they charge for admission. I think that but it's more of like a homesteading expo. It's not necessarily a YouTube meetup. And our thing in May is a YouTube meetup, so we don't charge admission. It's free for everybody.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big thing for us because we've got 6 kids that live at home, and so I mean, even at $5 a pop, you're still looking at $40 for us to just get in, and then the kids see the cotton candy, and they get hungry and want some food, and then you're looking at a few $100s.
And guys, that's why I carry the money.
Yeah, because I'm cheap.
No.
Oh.
Because your math ain't worth a crap.
Oh. Well, 8 of us would be $40, and that's what we have, okay?
You said 6 of us would be $40.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant, okay? All right. We've really had a good time during this live tonight, guys. Thank you very
guys.
much for hanging out.
Thank you guys for all hanging out. Everybody's leaving, probably going over to see Aunt Rocks. So don't forget to go check them guys out. We got to get off here
and make dinner.
She's got to get me some supper cooked.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make Emily do it. But yeah, and I gotta finish out this video I'm working on for Wiley, so I can put it out for y'all. But
well, Bobby, you're kind of late.
Yeah. All right, we love you guys. And we will see you all on the next live on Wednesday.
See y'all later.
Yep. Wednesday at our mountain home, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got to say.